I'd make a little video on my S14 drift car. I've had it now for about 7 years and I've done 5 years proper sort of heavy drifting with it. It was a road car for me for 2 years until I started modifying it a bit too much and taking it to drifting too often to make it a reliable, sort of cheap enough daily driver. So as always usually happens, I got a normal daily driver and I started making this just a track only toy. It started off, I found it for my mate. My mate wanted to get a cool car and asked me what I thought was good to get. I almost forced him into buying this when it was stock Zenki, but we ended up going to view it. I was more excited than him. I was like, you've got to buy it, it's really cheap. I think it was like 1,500 quid. So we bought it. He drove it around for about a year, put some coilovers on it. He really took care of it, to be honest. So I came along, bought it with no interior, no wheels, no steering wheel. It was basically just a rolling car with I was able to put my stamp on it straight away, which is wicked really, because that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to put my stamp on it and not have someone else's work hinder the look of the car and stuff. Chris rang me up and said, mate, you can buy this for a wicked price. So I ended up buying this for £2,500 with the HSDs on it and nothing else really. Which again was a bargain, thanks Chris. Every time Chris sees this car and it's changed and crashed and whatnot, he has a bit of a heart attack, so sorry mate. So I've got the car, I start modifying it. The first proper drift day I think I took this car on was a Rockingham, believe it or not, a Rockingham Spring Matsuri. The car was basically stock and it just ignited wanting to take this as just a track toy. Started getting more confident, crashing and knocking the bumpers off, making it a bit tatty. And I thought, and I'd probably need to invest in a body kit and stuff, which doesn't cost too much to replace all the time. I did an STL, the first STL Street Track Life event, Driftland, in its stock form, and that's where I really got to grips with the car and really enjoyed pushing myself further than I'd ever done before. I was a bit sort of tentative at the Spring Matsuri because it's quite a big track to do as sort of a beginnery kind of person. I'd only done Santa Pod in a Beamer before, so the original engine I blew up at STL1. It had lasted until 10 minutes before the end of the 2 days anyway, so I'd been going at it constantly up until that point. So she'd done well. I didn't have any gauges, I didn't have anything else. It's just a stock car basically with some coilovers on it and a welded diff. So that means she did really good for me. And from then I was buzzing and I was like, I've got to start putting some money into this and investing in getting okay at drifting basically. I just wanted to get cracking on drifting. It leads us on to the mod list. Now, she's not extensively modified in the slightest. There's so many other cars in the UK that have got much more done to it than mine has. But I'm a bit of an advocate for simple setup and loads of seat time. It took me ages to actually make it look like it does, because I thought I'm spending way too much money on the looks and it doesn't add any benefit. I'd rather buy tickets for seat time and stuff. But eventually, you know, you got to plough the money into making it look cool, right? Because half the point of drifting is to look cool. So on to the spec list. She is a 1995 MReg Zenki S14 UK spec. As she stands now, it's got a very battered M Sports rep kit from EPR, because sure, definitely don't want to buy a real one and smash it up. The front bumper's fared pretty well. So have the side skirts. The side skirt, I mean, I've gone up the Driftland bank when this car was fresh with the body kit and everything. I'll put a picture in of what happened there. And you know, this is the side that went up the bank straight away, and it just sort of folded underneath and didn't crack at all. It just didn't lose. I mean, I don't know what it's made out of, bloody fairy dust, but it didn't break or crack. We've got Advan 17x9 ET15, I believe, or 12. I think they're 15. We've got a 25mm spacer on the front, nothing on the back. Around 215/45 on the front and 225 good rides on the rear. It's a nice little setup. It's nice and grippy, literally like shit on a blanket at the front. And these are made by Westlake, I believe, the Good Rides. Oh yeah, sponsors. Whoa. And they're really grippy and they don't break apart at all. They last a fair few fast laps for sure at Anglesey, for example, and Rockingham, a burning hot day, the full infield lasted at least 5 proper laps with a confident laps. It's got a completely, I mean, I don't know what the brand the bonnet is. It was just an eBay special. I believe it was an Abmax. Shout out Abmax at Poland. He does some really cool stuff. But it, you know, it's pretty good, pretty well made, double skin thing. It's a bit mashed up now, but savable. We've got some 25mm EP Racing standard double vented wings, which have lasted really well to the abuse for the couple of years they've been on. Considering how low I run her, yeah, the car, like the body kit's fared really well, to be fair. Like, considering that she always like squats and literally sits on these when drifting, it's not bad. Just a bit of abuse over the years, and I haven't repaired it much at all. The rear bumper, I did have a rear bumper up until about a month ago, where I had to throw it away. Like in my last video of Anglesey, you'll see that it was completely in multiple pieces. I'd lost so much material out of it that it just wasn't worth saving. I'd saved it once before, and it was just a mess. So I threw it straight in a skip. It's pointless. Again, a lot of people ask me about this wing. I don't know. It was literally an unbranded eBay wing again. You know those late nights where you browse the internet? I mean, I do. Most car people probably do as well. Browsing the internet and eBay and Amazon and all that crap, and found this wing, which in the pictures, it had terrible pictures on the advert, but I saw that one of the pictures was like this, and the end plates looked really cool and sort of went with the line of the car, and I thought, that's pretty sick. I don't know what it is, I don't know what it's based on, but it fits really nice. And I thought I'd whack it on there. It's a decent size, like, yeah. Again, it's savable. I'm not going to run it this year, 2020, but easily savable. It's seen a few wall runs, which is cool. And as you can probably see, moving onto the corner here, this corner has seen a few wall runs, and wall hits and tyre hits and stuff. So is the bash bar, to be honest. Again, the bash bar's been burnt and bent back because I smashed the hell out of it. I need to sort that out before I put the new fenders on. The car, as she is now, is still stock body. That's why this is burnt through and it's completely ruined now, and it's definitely time for some fenders. But again, I've stayed stock body for as long as possible. I'm a fan of stock body cars, you know, for as long as you can. Like, body kit's wicked, but cutting your car up needlessly, nah, it's not my thing really. But now I've ran it for so long with strong offset wheels, and I've ruined my arches, and it's really time to either raise it, which I'm not going to do, or put some fenders on. So in another video I'll show the body kit and stuff that I've got for this season. Yeah, we're going fenders. We just got to, really, because it actually slows me down when it squats on a fast drift, so pointless. Very dirty, unloved sort of functional engine bay, running a bar of boost, disgusting Apex air filter which is going to get replaced. And the reason we have this snapped cover is a little bit of rubber there which holds the spark plug down, because sort of shredded the spark plug hole that sort of keeps it down. You know, touch wood to this point, it hasn't done anything bad. Yeah, it's very functional, very dirty. It's a drift car, it's not a show car. I mean, I'll make it as showy as I can on the outside, and you know, but it won't. I never want to jeopardise its actual capability as a drift car. But I still want to not be scared to push it to its limit and my limit, and run it into walls and things and people. So yeah, it's got a bar boost. It's got a high mount Part Shot Max intercooler. It's got a Jap Speed tubular mani bottom mount, and Jap Speed twin downpipe exhaust. Driftworks super cool rad. An unbranded eBay 3-inch exhaust all the way back, which sounds pretty decent to be fair. And honestly, that is it. A nice fake carbon Cusco brace. Lovely jubbly. Does the job. I've got a bit of notoriety on the internet for doing this to my car. People are like, how the f can you see? It's actually not bad for, I mean, this is pretty good representation of, it's not dazzling at all. Like, yeah, okay, there's probably a red tint when you drive in the sun, but no problem at all. I wanted it to just look stupid. Like, I'm like, whatever, it's a toy. Why not cover your whole interior in velour? Got a nice wood nardy wheel, and yeah, we've got long acre gauges for oil pressure, oil temperature, water temperature. Willwood Driftworks Hydro standard. Got a bit of a pin loose, nice. HKS turbo timer. A nice, very loose now fire extinguisher. Got to sort that out. But you know, it's been a pretty good location for it. When that actually used to hold it steady. Taken the whole glove box out and just put that there. So when the passenger sits in, I mean, it was sitting up there, so it was all right. Annoyingly, I've got a long crack that's starting to show in the windscreen. I really don't want to have to replace that yet. I'm sure I can get a couple more drift days out of it before it starts going into my eye line. So a rundown of what's to do. I'm going to replace this passenger seat with a Teggy Recaro that I've got. We've got to put in a catch can. We've got to relocate the power steering because it's prone to just leaking and causing fires on a lot of people's cars. We're going to cut the over fenders on. We've got some 50mm generic things. We'll put them on and enjoy the no rubbing. In haste at Anglesey last time, we put on someone else's gearbox. I've now replaced his gearbox, and this is the dead one, strip third, as everyone does. So yeah, we've got a pretty decent gearbox in there. It feels a little bit sloppy, but again, it's SR gearbox. So do the rest of the velour in here. We're gonna, I mean, I probably should remove this sound deadening, but whatever. Gonna board this up and just cover that in the velour again. We've already done the strap brace and the parcel shelf, so that is the last thing to do looks wise there. Got a welded normal 3.9 diff out of an automatic. Doesn't feel any different to the 3.6 I had. We're keeping the car mechanically the same because, you know, touch wood, it's been ridiculously reliable since STL1. We've replaced that engine and all is good. I have got a whole drivetrain. I've got an engine, gearbox, diff, shafts, everything. So if something does go wrong this season, I'm pretty well equipped to get it back out ready for the next drifter that I've got booked. Got a nice used Bride which has been repaired in Japan. Lovely jubbly. Bit of JDM there. TRS harnesses. Obviously the AVS VS6. We run the old Advan Neova 808Rs. Lovely jubbly. Behind there, which obviously I can't see at the moment, is my Geo Master 3s all round, which lower at 50mm before I've even wound the coils down anyway. I don't think at the moment I've wound the coils down a tiny amount because there's no real need to wind them down much at all because the Geo 3s lower it so much. swear it must be more than 50 mil, because they're almost at the top of their travel, the coilovers. As you can see, I've started to receive parts and stuff. I've got the body kit, I've got the lights and everything. So I think I'll end the video there. Next video is stripping it down and getting it ready for its new look and stuff. Checking what's wrong and all that, and fix it before we start making it look all pretty again. My first, it's March, early March now, and my first drift day is Spring Matsuri at Anglesey. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video.